right, folks, welcome. Thank you so much to the Chelladurai Inc. show. I am Aaron. Alongside me, my host, Coach Jordan. So what's today's date? Today's date is July 14th. July 14th, folks. Actually, my buddy gave birth to his second child yesterday evening. My buddy Forrest, shout out to him on his lovely born son, Corey Giffis. Welcome to the world. I've got a great show for you guys this evening. First, always, as we always do, we got our sports update, and it's interesting because there hasn't really been a whole lot of sports on right now due to the All-Star game. Every All-Star game in baseball, as you guys folks know, they don't do any sports one day before or 2 days after. Speaking of the All-Star game, it was in San Diego. The AL won at a score of 4-2, in large part because I think the pitchers for National League, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of them were not able to show up and they were injured. So they were saying that that's a large advantage to the AL winning at 4-2. Anyway, it was in San Diego, California, where the Chelladurai Inc. show is out locally. And we had the home run derby the night before. Let me tell you what, that was something else. Florida Marlins outfielder Giancarlo Stanton. Wow, hitting some bombs. I was witness to it. I don't know if you folks saw. Hit a 510-foot jack. And for those not familiar with Petco Park, where the San Diego Padres play, there is the Jumbotron, as they call it, in the back left field, sits in the back, way back, and this guy was hitting it. I don't know. You know what? This guy is great for baseball, but at the same time, you got to wonder, like, how is he not drug tested, like, every 4 hours for steroids? Like, the homers that were hit, I mean, just 497, just looking at this right here, folks, 497, 494, 510. I mean, these numbers are huge. I mean, anyway, unbelievable. So being with the no sports yesterday and today, they do what's called the ESPYs. I don't know if you guys saw it. It is an accolade award given to from ESPN. Now ABC actually hosts it, and it recognizes individual and team athletic achievement in other sports-related fields. So I'll just run through this with you guys real quick. Courage Award goes to Xavier Dobson. LeBron James wins Best Male Athlete. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers wins Best Play. Conor McGregor wins Best Overall Fighter. Threw a little bit of controversy there. Best Moment gets by the Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously for obvious reasons. Best Female Athlete, Brianna Stewart. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to win Best International Athlete. LeBron James, Best Championship Performance. Jake Arrieta, Best Breakthrough Athlete. Cleveland Cavaliers gets the Best Game Award, and Golden State looks like it does too. It was a co-championship there. Bryce Harper, Best Major League Baseball Player. And, the list goes on. I'm just kind of looking at this, but all in all, it's pretty great. A lot of athletes did take their, stand and really, recognize current events happening here in the nation and around the world. And, it was a very, very positive, peaceful vibe that really a lot of the winners of the evening really addressed in their speeches, which was nice, gave it a nice, very warming feeling to it. So it was really nice. It's starting to get a little emotional, but nonetheless, really nice. Great show tonight, as Pravin and I always do it. Thanks for joining us. By the way, it's episode 44, Chelladurai Inc. show. I want to talk a little bit about today. Sorry, Jordan, we're just going right into it. I want to talk a little bit about today about, for all our business owners that actually have, websites up. And if you don't, you guys got to get a clue, because the main little mini sermon I want to talk about today is how important it is for you, your company, and your product and your service online, and to be able to really promote that. I mean, now we've seen in the last 15 years how much the internet has actually grown. You are an absolute dinosaur today if you don't use the internet to market yourself, to promote sales, to do anything. I don't really care if you're a mom and pop taco shop. There's always room for you on the internet, whether you spend all the money in the world to, make sure you sell, or you just get on the internet without paying money. There's different ways to do it. There's different avenues. And my point is, today, it's very important. That being said, actually this morning, I attended a little classroom workshop, courtesy of the San Diego Chamber of Commerce, great organization. And I learned just a little bit crash course, if you will, on what's called search engine optimization, also called SEO. You guys check it out. There's articles on it. Big term. Everybody knows what it is, but people don't actually physically know what it is. So I was fortunate enough to go in there, and basically just the art and the science behind using Google being this all-seeing, all-knowing. It's not about Bing. It's not about any of them anymore. I mean, they all do it, but Google is just the 800-pound gorilla in the room, so to speak. And it's all about how you match up on Google when you search. Everything is searches. Everything is searches. So it's so paramountly important when you live with almost 2 billion people having access to a computer worldwide. I mean, that's 25. Anybody can get to a computer these days. It's unbelievable. 2 out of 7 billion. So, just getting back to the search engine optimization, being able to, you're not going to really, the average person is not going to go to the 63rd result that's searched. I mean, they're going to want to go to the top 5. So in reality, folks, I mean, you ideally want to be in those top 5. It's very, very important. It was a great crash course. Guy's name was John Bertoni. He is an entrepreneur himself, and he works for a company called Tag, also known as the agency guy, John Bertoni. Had courtesy talking to him. And Jordan, I don't know if you wanted to just shed a little bit of light on that. I know you're pretty familiar with some of that. I mean, what do you think of this whole SEO thing right now, and how important it is for the market, and just how it's paramount in today's day?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Aaron, again, for sharing your insight on that. But, just like you were saying, to kind of build further on what you were saying about SEO and how important it is, I mean, I really can't express the amount of change gone on in the world, which has, really shifted the power over to us. Shifted the power from all the gatekeepers, which were before completely controlling the game, controlling the market. Now the power has shifted, and they've given it to us. I mean, the tools that we have access to right now make us on par with the giants. And specifically SEO would be one of those items. If you can efficiently have your product, brand, or service treated to pop at the top of the search engine, specifically Google, because like Aaron said before, that is the 800-pound gorilla. Nobody is messing with Google at the moment. But if you can show up on the first page, you're going to see business and you're going to see growth. And I can say specifically from experience from myself, and also from close friends and fellow entrepreneurs that we've had on the show previously, that they took the time to really study and learn both SEO as well as SEM, search engine marketing, to get their business to show up in the first page of Google, show up on the first page of Google. And since doing so, they have seen explosive growth in their business, which, to be honest, in the prior 12, if you were to take out, an income statement and compare 12 months from 2014 and 15 prior to getting onto Google, you just could not even compare them. I mean, it's out of the world. Revenue is through the roof. So, and the expense, of course, is there, but the return on your investment on that is clear as night and day on a financial statement. So I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah, and that being said, I really don't know how much personally the cost can be. I was just spitballing with this guy today, and a legitimate search engine optimization company could charge you anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 a month, and probably do it for sign like a 3 to 6 month contract. So I don't know. It's definitely an expense. I'm not saying people don't need to get there right away, be the top 5, but the whole search engine optimization works more than just the top 5. I mean, it's so huge, and I guess and there's a lot of people that have businesses that really don't know so much, really know the whole concept of it. I have a good buddy of mine who I actually just saw real recently, and he's trying to take his business to the next level. And I started introducing some of these, SEO tactics, and talking about Google AdWords and how that whole process works. And I mean, it was just all news to him. I mean, and this is a smart guy. This guy's been running his business for 7 years now, and he hadn't known the whole concept of search engine optimization or AdWords or any form of advertisement, of how to really drive traffic and ultimately get to the top. So I mean, if this guy doesn't know about it, a lot of people don't. So I think it's very important for the business owners and the business owners to be, and anybody that wants to build their own company, to really know how this process works. Because this is, I mean, I can't tell you how big, because we live in a day where any business has the opportunity to be worldwide. Any business at a limited cost. And I'm saying again, to be SEO, but to market yourself online can cost very little, as long as you're getting your name out there. If you have a website, you're putting it out there, and you're casting your lines, by all means, it's in there. It's in the pool. So it's all about, again, how you move there. And I'm sorry. I'm preaching a little bit. But I just wanted to bring up to light. I was really in awe of what I learned in a short time. So just want to share a little business tip of the day there. Jordan, go ahead. Go ahead, my man.
No, I mean that's really what exactly what you're talking about. See, the thing is, when we get on here and we kind of discuss a specific topic, the reason for that is because that's actually what we're experiencing and going through in life at the moment. Literally right now, myself and Aaron, of course, aside from the company, aside from Chelladurai Inc., from the message and the expression that we hope to share, that we will share, that we are currently sharing with the world. On top of that, we do also work in corporate jobs, whether that be for very large companies or smaller corporate startups. Regardless, we do live, breathe the sales, the function of sales. And I think on this same topic, as far as SEO, kind of to build a further bridge on that and kind of get a little more general and broaden it up, we can touch a little bit on the topic of sales, because I think, a lot of times in entrepreneurship and, in startups, a lot of times the focus on sales is kind of distracted, and the focus is taken off of the sales. And a lot of times we have a brand or a product or a service which we personally stand firmly behind, but at the same time, we need to ask ourselves, is this something that the market stands behind? Is this something that the market actually wants? Because,
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry to cut you off, Jordan, but like you said earlier, actually, I mean,
no.
A perfect example of illustrating what you're saying is, you just asked me, the other day about this whole Pokemon Go, and like how in never in a million years would I, think of an idea like that. But it doesn't matter about what we can bring to them. It's what they are. It's you gotta look at that as, okay, I wouldn't have thought of that, and it's just brilliant. I mean, you got to go with a trend. Me personally, it's bizarre how that just has come about, but it's huge. It's gone viral. I mean, everybody's on it. It's been out a week. It's been out like 8 days. and it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. So blown away. Just as an example of speaking on that, Jordan.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's what the same thing is. If we can analyze the market and really try to figure out what is it that people want and give them that, as opposed to taking something which may not necessarily fit this, in this block. The block is cut out like a circle or a star, and you keep trying to jam a wooden block in that doesn't fit. It's not gonna go through, right? It's never gonna go through. So
Great analogy.
Right. So in turn, being flexible. If you if you had a square, round, or star shaped hole, and you take a chunk of Play-Doh and try to smash that through, it's actually going to go through, right? So if we can become a little more flexible and still, of course, authenticity is key. Standing behind your product, your brand, and your message is numero uno. Numero uno. Even before sales, number one comes the belief in your product, brand, or service, the confidence in your product, brand, or service. If you genuinely don't believe in it, it will come across. People can tell, and that's a major turnoff. That's a major turnoff when you're trying to grow anything. And even otherwise, I'm sure nobody would like to sell a product or a service or anything that they don't genuinely connect with. There's too many other ways to do it than to come across in that way. So that same type of thing, just analyze the market, figure out what are people asking for, and then how can we deliver them that. Even if you take Lucy, for example, right? From 2 weeks ago, we talked about Lucy Hoger. She has experience of Aaron plus me combined times 10, yet she approached us saying, how can I serve you guys? How can I serve you too? So if we can focus on the service and really genuinely trying to serve others, then that will make our jobs a whole lot easier.
Agreed completely. Yeah, and Lucy, just to state back, folks, Lucy Hoger we had on 2 weeks ago, really a strategist consultant. She's worked for some Fortune 500 companies and really has a list of, there's that word again, accolades that she could just attribute to her entire career. She can't be older than, I don't know, she's fairly young. And she was really motivational and inspirational to both Jordan and I in our audience 2 weeks ago. She actually, I've actually still stayed in contact with her, and I check her Instagram out. Visionosity Magazine, folks. Visionosity Magazine. She's very well liked. But yes, so search optimization, folks. If you're just joining us tonight, Chelladurai Inc. show live here, Jordan and Aaron. We're just vibing tonight. No guests. Time now is 9:20. Talking about sales, talking about SEO, talking about what your businesses really want, understanding your business, understanding your own product, your service, and understanding in which you're delivering that right now. Because, again, back to this Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go comes out, it's like, I don't even know how long that's even been developed for. Meanwhile, you have people selling things, industry selling things for 50, 60 years, and like I'm just blown away. It's been a crazy day, folks. Just with the class today. It's just Jordan. I'm just yeah. Anyway, what else? I mean, what's going on with
building
the book?
With
Say
what?
again, Jordan? No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, building on the same topic of SEO, just a very brief, because my education needs to go much deeper than what I have. But if for those of you who are not familiar with search engine optimization, just to share a few factors which affect the visibility of your website on a search engine such as Google, keywords play probably one of the most important factors for your website to be identified. And again, this is based on algorithms that Google engineers create that they may not even be able to tell us. I think, it's a very top secret algorithm, and they won't give that secret sauce away, and it never stays the same either, so don't try to figure it out. But there are keywords, there are short tail keywords and long tail keywords. And short tail would just be one word, such as window, and long tail keywords would be something like window tint San Diego. So whatever your business or niche is, you want to identify those keywords and have your website contain those keywords in order to become identified by Google, in turn popping up higher in the ranks. So that's just a little more information that I learned this week that I thought hopefully, others can gain some insight from related to, search engine optimization. But, other than that,
Yeah, Jordan, I'm right here. I'm just listening to you and actually just looking up just really what it is. I mean, it says, by definition, folks, search engine optimization, also known as SEO, is a marketing discipline focused on growing visibility in organic meaning non-paid search engine results. Where I thought actually, Jordan, SEO might have been paid. So I guess there's different types. This is saying that
organic. Yeah, this would be organic.
Yeah, this is organic.
This would be organic, meaning not paid for directly. But like what you were saying, there are companies out there that offer services to assist with search engine optimization, but Google itself is not pulling in any revenue from search engine optimization. If someone is selling you search engine optimization services, then they're assisting you with identifying keywords, creating backlinks, which are other websites that link back to your website.
Right. I actually just, gentleman today, John Bertoni, has tagged the agency guy. He was actually talking he was saying that about backlinks. Great presentation. Jordan, did you want to really, being I talked about search optimization, there's also something out there equally important, search engine marketing. There's SEO versus SEM, and Jordan happens to know about a little bit more about that. Jordan, can you inform our audience a little bit about SEM and how it differs from SEO?
Sure. So SEM, like Aaron said, would be search engine marketing, where Google AdWords would be a form of search engine marketing. I'm sure everybody has seen the first 2 to 3, whenever you search on Google, the first 2 to 3 results that show up on Google are actually paid for advertisements, which is, again, in the world of SEO and SEM, SEO is considered organic views or results, and then you have non-organic or paid for search engine marketing results, which come from Google AdWords. Bing, of course, has their own version of AdWords. Yahoo has their own version of AdWords. And, it's basically the all under the umbrella of SEM. But in a nutshell, it can basically put you on the front page of Google without any organic growth, without the need for any, identifying keywords. So in turn, if you were to really analyze and produce a strategy, anybody would tell you to focus as much as possible on your SEO, your organic growth, maybe put 51% on that, and then the other 49% on SEM. But both can be very fruitful, definitely.
Okay, yeah. SEO versus SEM. So SEM is paid and SEO is not. Would that be
correct?
Would that be correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, in addition to go with, getting to the top as well of your Google page, ascending over your competitors, there are some other things involved, like the fluidity of the code. This is all learning experience to me, folks. I'm just giving this back to you. I mean, this is just gold that I was hearing. But anyway, Jordan, there's a little bit of the fluidity in the code, how it responds. There's a certain parameter which responds better with Google, and that will actually elevate your search engine results higher. Is that correct?
Yeah, again, that would link back to that algorithm, which, again, Google is basically when you hit the enter button after entering a search and you actually hit the search button, Google immediately crawls the entire web, like in a split second, and finds the most relevant content. That would be the best way to put it, the most relevant content to the search terms, to what the person who's searching, what they're looking for. Google tries to find the most relevant content. So Google is really more focused and concerned about the user. So it's all about the user experience. So when creating your website, of course, everyone is thinking about this, but really think about the user experience. If you're going to have an elderly demographic perusing your website, you want to make sure that everything is clear, cut, friendly as possible, less clutter. I mean, we really need to start looking at websites. It's crazy because the times we live in are unbelievable. It's beyond anything this world has ever seen. And I mean, we're really moving to a virtual world. It's not something that I'm advocating for, not something that I'm against. It's just something that I'm observing. And it's the reality of the world we live in today. And we really need to look at our websites as virtual real estate. If you have a home that you have visitors coming over to, you're going to make sure it's clean. You're going to make sure it's tidy. I would hope, maybe you might not, but hopefully you're going to make sure it's clean, tidy, presentable, not too much going on, but something nice to look at. So if we kind of look at it as virtual real estate, that'll help us to focus on the user experience more so than what we think is cool and what we really resonate with.
Absolutely, 100%. Very well said. Sorry, Jordan, I don't want to cut you off. Time now is 9:29, folks. We're entering the little after-hour spot. This will be for our exclusive members, minutes 31 through 45, as Jordan and I like to call it, the after-hours. But you know what, folks? We're just talking tonight about what I'm currently learned and what Jordan's currently learned. A little bit of a different episode tonight, but I only bring this up to you guys tonight because I realized how big. I mean, excuse my French, but it hit me like a sack of shit today, realizing how big this is. How the just. I may be overstating it, and people already. It's obvious, but it's just the internet. How you position your business on the internet, because you're not always going to be there face to face. You can be. What I'm saying to you guys, folks, is I don't care how big your company is. I mean, I don't care if you're one employee. I don't care if you're 1,000. If you got a product or a service, then you should be viral. You should take that time to build your website. There's the sky's the limit as far as how much you can spend on the internet for all the SEM like Jordan talked about. But you also don't need to. And getting out there and putting you on virally and doing what you can to really ultimately get to the top with the budget that you do have, it's reasonable with you. I highly suggest, based on my personal opinion, it is a wonderful investment because, like Jordan touched on and explained earlier, the results. I mean, you're going to see. I mean, the world that Google is the fingertips at your world. The fingertips at your world. And like I said earlier, about 2 billion out of 7 billion people can access the internet. If they have a computer, don't have a computer, as long as they access it. I mean, 2 billion out of 7? I mean, that's the end of my rant and my sermon. Jordan, I don't know if you want to take it from here. If there's any subject matter you'd like to talk to us tonight, not to put you on the spot, but just something that you'd like to address, completely different or on the same subject, by all means. I just had to wait that 30 minutes right there.
We're at about the 30 right now. I think I do have a pretty nice concept that I would like to share, but to be honest, I think I'll save it for next week.
Okay, because Aaron just went bonkers on the SEO thing.
No, I think that's a good one, and I think we should stick on that and just not, because I would be moving off topic, so I want to stay on the same one. And if that's about really all I had for tonight. If you had anything else, floor is yours, bro. If you want to close it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of, and folks, just to let you guys know, I kind of dropped this on Jordan. Jordan didn't know that we were going to really spin it up tonight. He knows the script of the show tonight. I kind of just dropped this out of midair. So thanks, Jordan. Jordan was a member of the audience tonight. Let's give Jordan a round of applause. But yeah, folks, that's all we got really tonight. It's 9:35. I hope you guys enjoyed, the concepts and really this content, because I mean, this could be taught in a much better way to you. The words that I just said by a professional, but that professional is gonna cost. You're gonna pay for that. That was free, and that you can't beat. So I'm gonna leave that with that. Next week, join us same time. Jordan, Pravin, Aaron. You guys take care. Have a wonderful week. Prosper, live long, like Spock and Star Trek, whatever. We're out.